50, now 5. Hit 55. Would have been 55. Up to 50.
Hey guys, how's everybody doing? It's Jason and Ryan here. We're just kind of hanging out. Day 2 pickup. Sequoia Hills. Enjoying the beautiful weather. Say hi, Ryan.
What's up, everybody?
We're just kind of hanging out, doing pickup just like we did yesterday. If you had an opportunity to watch yesterday, scheduled pickup time. So if you won something at Sequoia Hills and you hadn't picked up yet, make sure you get scheduled. Let's see, we're until 7 today, I think.
Until 7 today and tomorrow.
Until tomorrow. Also 11 to 7 tomorrow. Here till 7 today. We're just trying to enjoy nature right now. You know, we're just been sitting here talking about how everything's been kind of turned upside down. We didn't get a chance to do a podcast this week. Hopefully we'll get a chance to do one this coming week. Today's Tuesday, so we'll try to get one on tomorrow. And I thought we'd just hop on live. Hey, Crystal, how are you? Glad we got 8 watchers here. And see if you have any questions. I'm enjoying my new strawberry and peach. Is that how you say that? Fuzz?
I think it's Fuse.
Fuse.
Yeah.
Fuzz, Fuse. Enjoying our new drink. Fire away if you've got any questions while we're waiting on our next guest to show up so we can load up their items. I'm going to actually try to film that. Ryan's going to have to actually do some work. And
slave driver.
He's been kind of hanging out over here most of the day. Notice I've got a lot of sun, and Ryan is still white as a ghost over here.
Yeah. Notice my shirt's dirty and Jason's is pretty clean.
Well, there's that. My problem is I burn, and then I just get freckles. Like that's it. Like I don't tan at all. No tanning on this skin. So, what else can we talk about? We were having some deep conversations.
Yeah, they were so deep you can hardly remember them.
Oh, yeah, out of control. The market's still strong right now. People are still buying. People are obviously selling. Not as many people selling. I feel like right now we have more buyers than we do people selling. And that's both with real estate and personal property. So, I mean, if you've got things that you want, that have been thinking about selling and wondering if it's a good time, I mean, you know, Governor Lee's order is in effect until the 14th. So we still have a few more days before we get back to business as usual. I don't know if I told you this. The state just sent out an email that online auctions with controlled pickup is essential. So for clarity.
That's good since we've been doing that.
Yeah. I've been very controlled as we've been handling the pickups. You know.
One family at a time.
Yep. Everybody's been really kind and really sweet, really nice. And we appreciate that, making our life easy. We're just trying to keep everybody safe.
I think people are going to get used to the curbside service. I think people, this might become a level of expectation.
Yeah. I mean, we're legitimately doing curbside. Like, I don't know. There's only been a couple people actually got out of their vehicle today.
Yeah.
So I think people are getting used to Ryan being at pickup, so he can just basically manhandle everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just stay in your car. We got it.
We may have found you a new job.
Well,
You are the pickup extraordinaire.
Well, listen, you might as well be good at something.
Yeah.
You know?
You got to know your strengths, right?
That's right. And your weaknesses.
And your weaknesses. And one of Ryan's weaknesses is wearing gloves. I'm on my 3rd pair here today. And I've got these one size fits most. Ryan had to go get his own particular pair of gloves.
Custom made.
Custom made. They're the quadruple XL. Skin tight. Ridiculous. You got like movie star hands?
No, I
You
don't
could be
have
like
movie
movie
stars.
star hands.
Movie-
Like just
hand
your
model?
hand. Hand model. You could be a hand model, dude. That'd be awesome. What is anybody got? Hopefully, I don't know if Can y'all even hear us? I haven't seen any reactions.
We're just talking to ourselves.
Well, there's 14 people watching, so I don't know. Like, if you can hear us, give me a thumbs up. Maybe I need to do something. Like, Facebook keeps changing their deal. Or sometimes,
give us anything at this point.
Yeah, give us anything. Like, I don't know. Hey, go on Facebook and give me a thumbs up or write a comment on JD's auctions page.
Maybe these 14 people just think we're idiots and just want to talk.
I'm pretty sure because it's slowly declining now. We're down to 7. We lost half the crowd. It's like, okay, these guys are dumb. We're out of here. Nope, we're back to 12. Can you say hey? Can you just type a comment that says hey? Oh, wait a minute. We've got Haley's watching. I see that. Did you type hey? Oh. Is anybody commenting? No. Okay.
All right.
Can you give me a thumbs up? Or a heart?
Like, what else do you...
Is there any other options? Just a thumb
Any
up.
emoji that you can find.
Anything at this point.
Okay.
You did?
We're not getting that.
I'm not seeing that feedback. So you just need to watch and see if anybody posts any questions. Any questions, we are available right now to answer them. Capitalize on this moment. We're currently residing in the shade. And what we got going on this week?
A lot.
A lot.
We've got a coin auction coming up this weekend. Also, I believe a gun and knife auction
Yep.
coming up as well.
Yep. Oh, we've been watching it. We've been watching it.
Have a good day.
We got 3 estates closed.
3 estates closing this coming week.
5 auctions in 4 days.
Crazy time to be at JD's.
I mean, it's intense. I mean, I'm going to tell you what, if you can't find something over these next 5 auctions that you need, you don't need it.
That's true.
You don't need it. If
Plenty
we
of
don't have
options.
it, you don't need it.
Plenty of options out
I
there.
mean, we got washers, we got dryers, we've got full bedroom suits, we've got
home
beds,
decor for days.
home decor for days, pots, pans, dishes,
Yeah.
Tools, guns, knives.
Haley, what kind of unique items we have out in Strawberry Plains?
Yeah, what's in Strawberry? Ann, y'all need to come over. We're live. We're talking about what's coming up. What's some of the unique things?
Haley enjoys being on camera,
Yes.
so maybe you can just say it from behind the camera. Any
What's one of your favorite items, Ann, at the Johnson estate? And I said, see, you got a mask on. I can't see who you are. You're camouflaged. Audrey, sorry. Audrey's coming over.
Okay, one of my favorite items is it's a crab. It's a silver-plated hermit crab, and it's a real shell.
Silver-plated hermit crab. That's a real shell.
Yeah.
That's one of your favorite items at
Yep.
the Johnson estate.
Yep.
You don't remember what lot number it is, I'm sure, but that's okay. They can find it.
That's a good auction.
Yes.
That's a
Okay. So what's your favorite item at the Rambo estate? Because that one's okay. So let's back up. The Johnson estate closes Thursday night,
Correct. 7 o'clock.
7:00. Audrey spent the entire time out there working on this thing. She has busted her little tail. So that's her favorite item. You got to go find this crab that she's talking about. It must be stunning. Now we've got Ann here with us. Ann spent the entire time at the Rambo estate. And for those of you who don't know, we have reason to believe that the Rambo movie series was made in part after Mr. Rambo. And Ann's here. Ann, what is one of your most favorite items?
The first thing that comes to mind is a mid-modern desk that stands straight up, and it's got attaches to the ceiling.
Hold up. I think you need to come in camera. Audrey, don't go anywhere. And come on over. We got 17 people. We got the world watching here. So go ahead. Tell them.
So one of my favorite items at the Rambo estate is a mid-modern, straight-up desk table that attaches to the ceiling, and then it lifts up, and it's in great shape. And then the second thing is I have never in my life seen so much material and fabric. And there are lots and lots and lots of fabric. In fact, some people have even inquired about using them for masks, which is
talk to about Anderson County right now.
Which would be an absolute blessing. A woman from Anderson County council has inquired about buying some fabric so she can have a team make some masks for some people on the front lines, the nurses and doctors, and it would make the family, the woman that I'm dealing with, very happy to know that this fabric went to good use. And we're talking nice. It's ironed, it's pressed, it's measured.
Cotton, right?
It's 100% cotton, most of it. She's got all kinds. And then I have never in my life seen so many rugs. And these rugs are never used, never, like in every single color you could think of. So there'd be 4 different sizes of 3 different colors all over, and so there's probably 20 lots of rugs. And then lastly, dishes. She has dishes.
Oh my gosh.
In every color. Some of them are, you know, they're not china or anything exquisite, but they are very everyday, useful Pier 1 dishes. Blue, green, yellow, purple.
Dishwasher safe?
Blue. All of them are dishwasher safe. A lot of them are sets, like you can look them up on Pier 1 and get the other pieces that you need. So those are some of the highlights of that auction for sure.
So that one's closing again?
That one closes on this coming Friday. This coming Sunday, and then the pickup is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and we will still be practicing for now social distancing, so we'll spread out the pickups. And the way that it's worked out so far here at the Sequoia auction has been great. People have been more than helpful, more than nice. Jason and Ryan are just in there with them. They triage them, and they don't even have to get out of their cars, and it's worked out real great. So we plan to have that same situation at the Rambo Estate because they have a circular driveway and there's plenty of room. So get your bidding on this coming Sunday, and then pickup will be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and there's a link in your email to sign up.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ann. We appreciate you. Audrey, do you want to come over? You don't have to, but if you want to.
Alrighty.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to Audrey. She is
Practicing my
That's right. She is
my COVID safe pickup here.
Fantabulous. Audrey, I got to tell you, this is, I think, the first time you've ever been on our page live.
Yes.
So, if you wouldn't mind, could you take 2 minutes maybe and tell everyone about you?
Okay.
That's right.
2 minutes. Okay.
2 minutes.
This is something I have never done before. I basically am a retired business entrepreneur and
Love it.
went to help Ann with the pickup, and then somehow I never left.
Yes.
I've been held captive ever since
Right.
by JD. So anyway, that's that story.
And what's one of the things that you have a strong passion for?
A strong passion. I just love researching. One of the things I did when I lived in Ohio is early on is I worked the Cuyahoga County Fair, and I worked the antique section, and I love researching a lot of glass, china, silver. I just have a fascination for that, and we uncover, it's just very exciting to uncover these treasures, and when you don't expect it sometimes. In the Johnson Estate, in a box full of trinkets, and I found a beautiful Rosenthal porcelain fox that is a very rare piece of art.
Wait a minute. Okay, so hang on. So you're going through the estate.
Yes.
And you're getting things ready.
Yes.
And this happens quite frequently. Like there's just boxes of things. And I think one of the reasons that I'm so proud that you're on our team is because y'all take the time to look in that box to see if there's anything that's like, okay, should we separate this or should we sell this as one group? So what caught your eye? Like why was it just because it was a fox, or?
But by the porcelain was very fine. It was very fine porcelain. And I really wasn't familiar with this particular fox, but the minute I turned it over, I recognized the name. And then it was also, in addition to the stamp, the Rosenthal stamp, it was engraved with the artist. And that's when you know you've got something.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's very, very fun.
And it's just, this is kind of a unique job, I think. I don't even want to call it a job. It's a unique way of helping people through a situation that they're in that they don't know who to turn to. And I think the things you've been talking about is researching and being able to just identify like, whoa, there's something different about this piece. Let's investigate it a little bit more.
Exactly.
And then maybe let's start pulling out our phones if we have to and research. So that's a unique skill that you guys have.
Exactly. And it's fun. It really is. It is fun. And helping people. And sometimes the owner doesn't even have an idea how valuable an item is, because we all inherit things. We get things for gifts. And it's really fun when they find out that you've got a treasure and they didn't even know it was a treasure.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's so cool.
yes.
It's such a cool experience because I tell, and I now, like Audrey, for example, you've been here long enough to know that every day is so much different. You have similar processes that we go through, but every estate's different. You know, I mean, let's talk a little bit about Audrey getting fired up. And I love the fact that I've seen some passion from Audrey of the time that we're in and how frustrating. Like, this is not easy stuff.
No.
And I don't think everybody really fully understands that. And like, for example, the Johnson estate, we had everything laid on, we are scheduled, everything's going
laid
perfect.
out.
And then what happened?
Then we had to move it because the owners were moving and they were having a closing. And we literally had things spread out over 4,000 square feet and nooks and crannies and cubbies ready to go. And then had to pack it all up. And that was in a day-and-a-half process. And not only pack it up, but you have to protect it. I mean, like that Rosenthal fox, I had to wrap him, put him in plastic, put him in another box. And we made it without anything, knock on wood, being broken. And that, it's trouble.
Guys, now's your time to ask Audrey any questions, and Ann's still over here. We've got a little bit, I'm basically making these ladies stop. They have been nonstop on their feet, and I've forced them to come sit down and come talk to you. This is an awesome opportunity. Share this video. I mean, very seldom does Ann and Audrey sit down and take a break and come in to be able to answer any of your questions. While you have them here, ask them anything. I mean, if they don't know the answer, they'll make something up, which is awesome. But no, so everything is different, right? The Johnson estate, we think we've got this great plan, and we did have this great plan. And as it turns out, the coronavirus came, and we could do nothing about that. So you basically, with the help of a couple other individuals, moved that entire thing. So now we can close it on this coming Thursday,
correct.
7 o'clock. Now it's going to be in a different location, obviously, because you moved it. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, it's going to be in the showroom of A&W Office Supply, and that is on Dutchtown Road, right off Lovell Road.
Right off Lovell Road at the Office Supply store. We'll make sure that the addresses have been updated if we haven't yet, but we'll make sure
it's all online.
Good.
So
good.
And there's plenty of room, so everybody can have their space for pickup. It should be a smooth go.
Yep, and we plan on doing it the same way, right? Yep. We are absolutely trying to do our best that we possibly can to ensure everyone's safety is the number one priority, only allowing one family out at a time. Today, I think at one time we had about 4 people. Sorry, getting a phone call. We had 4 people here at once, but we left everybody inside their vehicle, and we just helped them one at a time. And I think all 4 were here and out within a matter of 10 minutes. I mean, pretty quick. But it's a tribute to you all, because you've got everyone's items prepared and got them ready. That's why it's so important to make sure you schedule an appointment so we can have your items ready for you. Think of it as going to the doctor's office or going to the dentist. You really need an appointment. Most of the time, you don't just walk in unless your arm's cut off or you're bleeding or something of that nature. So schedule an appointment where you come out.
We are much more pleasant than the dentist, though.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, we are.
You walk away with treasures.
That's right.
And all your teeth.
And all your teeth. We've got 18 washers. I don't know what our highest has been.
So we do have a couple of questions.
Okay, Ryan?
One is from a very beautiful person that's tuning in today. That happens to be my wife.
Uh-huh. Okay.
She says, and this could really go to any of you, what is the greatest find you have ever seen? So, for instance, you're digging through, you found a box, that was, but kind of something that was like, wow. This
It didn't have to be the most valuable, probably.
No, just unexpected.
I know.
Yeah, just unexpected.
Do you have one, Aaron?
Well, go ahead. If you know one.
This was kind of an interesting, and a lot of times, the first pass through a house, an owner will go through and sort out things that either go to Goodwill or, in some cases, get thrown out. And being the dumpster diver I am,
Yes.
I saw a lidded trash can inside of the dumpster, and it was right in the middle, and it was driving me crazy because I didn't know what was in it. So ultimately, I went and climbed in the dumpster. I'll be the first one to admit.
I love it.
Took the lid off, and the entire trash can was full of McCoy pots.
No
Oh my
way.
gosh.
The entire trash can.
Wow.
So they weren't broken. There was like one out of, there were probably 25, 30 McCoy pots. And they probably sold, $20, $30 a piece.
Sure.
So it was worth, and they
Yeah.
were beautiful, beautiful vintage.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, that's, there's a lot of McCoy pots, sure, but that's history still. We're talking about made in the USA, baby.
Ohio.
Yeah. Just a cool find. Yeah. And have you thought of anything really cool?
Some of the books in this estate,
People
Sequoia
can't
Hills.
see you. So y'all might have to switch. They're
Very
like, who is talking?
terribly.
They know my crazy voice.
So some of the books in this Sequoia estate.
Wait, we're repeating the question. So the question was, what's one of the coolest things that you found? Doesn't have to be the most valuable, but just as you're digging through. So go ahead. Sorry.
One thing that comes to mind is some of the books. There was was it first edition Little Women? First edition Little Women book in this auction. And then another thing that comes to mind, just for me, some of them may not be the most valuable, but random. Like we were in an auction one time last summer, and I believe the lady was a hairdresser. So she had so many old-fashioned hair accessories, like curling irons and straightening irons, and wave this with your hair, and wands and pins, and just you can make a whole lot out of all the stuff that she had. So I thought that was pretty neat. And then some of the toys that we found in different auctions. And then we just finished one in Athens that it probably had the least amount of smalls. So it had the least amount of little items and the most furniture I've done so far. And there is some beautiful, beautiful furniture in that one. And that one closes on Sunday, May 5th. And so it is mostly furniture, and there's a set of wicker that's beautiful, beautiful, almost brand new. Doesn't even look sad, and in fact the tags are on it. So that one comes to mind. And then there's a local artist. Is his last name Tito or Tino?
Tino. Robert Tino.
So Robert Tino, these folks must have collected him because they have probably 4 to 5 of his prints in this collection in the Athens auction. So those will probably be a hot little seller. So it's just interesting. And then what I find interesting about it is, so I am, unlike Audrey is a dumpster diver, I'm a purger. Can't stand it. I hate clutter. Just get it out of the way. Why do you need this? Why do you need 5 pairs of black shoes? You don't. So when I first started, I had to train myself saying, okay, don't throw it away, don't throw it away, don't throw it away. So I have kept some stuff. Like the biggest example I can give is that, that ivy that's on like at Naples Restaurant, for those of you from Knoxville, they have the red and white check tablecloths, and they've got this ivy hanging everywhere that's in these old Italian restaurants with this much dust on it. Yes. And it just looks god awful. But some families have this ivy hanging and these artificial flowers and just scads of it, and I'd be the first one to be like, chuck it, can't stand it, it's awful. But people love that stuff and they buy it, and it's huge. And so I have had to train myself to learn to not throw things away, which is exactly opposite of the way I think.
So complete mind shift. Awesome.
Yeah. What was the name of that restaurant?
Oh, I don't want to say it. It's
Let's say it
embarrassing.
again.
I said the restaurant name
They're
because
out of business.
it's
They're all
the
right.
style of
They're
restaurant.
sold.
I
All right,
love that
so-
restaurant.
Shane McCarroll has a very. This could be this. This question is pretty good here. It says, "Tell us what it's like to have to work around JD all day."
Oh no.
That's what Shane wants to know.
I think
no.
it's terrible. It's
Come
terrible.
on.
Well, I tell you, just because this boy has grown this business so big, we rarely, in fact, this is the first time that I have seen him more than 1 hour at a time outside of a meeting. So it's actually been really fun. And then Ryan is new. So it's been fun having them around and kind of see how they roll and operate. And JD has a million balls in the air and plates spinning all around. So we don't get to work with him too terribly often, but he's really, his heart's in the right place, and he's built a good team, and it's a lot of fun. It does. Every time I say, oh, this might be my last one, I think, no, I'll do one more. No, I'll do one more. And now that we have the real estate portion of the business, that can also be another avenue for some of you, whether you decide to auction your home or sell your home. So that's a whole nother piece that I'm sure you've
Yeah.
done some Facebook time about that, but that's another thing that we can do for you as well.
Yeah. Awesome. Anything else? Any other questions? Because I've got one for him.
No questions coming in right now.
Okay, so let's ask this one since you've been on the stand in the hot seat.
Yeah.
You're off.
Okay.
Audrey's back on. So
Oh,
Audrey,
dear. Oh,
this
dear.
is I think this could be an important question. And I get
Okay.
this quite frequently. And if you get a chance to come with me, one of you, I think this is going to be important. We've got a big assessment to do on Thursday. I think what people would like to hear from you, and Ann will give you a chance to chime in as well. What's some of the pitfalls as our clients? Maybe they're downsizing. Maybe they've inherited the house and it's just absolutely full. But what's some of the pitfalls that they could get themselves into, and how can they avoid that? Does that make sense?
It does. You mean in the process of getting ready for the auction?
Yeah. So before they call us, maybe
Right,
what's some of the
right.
things a trend that we've seen? Maybe they've made mistakes on, because this is a learning opportunity. We don't know. Maybe someone's watching right now that they're thinking, you know, grandmother just passed away and I've got her house. What's some of the things that, be careful, don't do this type thing?
I think the biggest thing to remember is one man's trash is another man's treasure.
Oh, yes.
So you want to make sure, especially things will fall in and out of being collectible. So especially collection of things. You may have toys, games, dishes that to you may seem very everyday, but until you do the research. So if you're unsure, just tuck things away and wait until you have somebody that can come in and look and that is exposed to these items every day that may know what's really valuable. So my biggest comment would be just hold tight until you get somebody just to even go through do a walkthrough. We can come through and pretty quickly tell you to hold on to this. Don't, that's okay to go to Goodwill. All of those.
And we don't even charge for that.
Correct.
Like, we just do that for free. And the cool thing is, like, the way we built this is, like, even if we don't pick us, we're perfectly content with coming over and just walking through to say, please don't throw this trash can full of McCoy pots away.
Right.
Because
exactly.
like you say, it's one man's trash is another one's treasure.
Exactly. And a lot of things end up in the landfill. I've been working with some folks from CAC. A lot of things end up going in the trash, and we find a home for some of these things that can be used and be put to good use.
That is beautiful advice. Yeah, that is awesome. And
Yeah.
you want to add, or do you have an additional pitfall maybe that some people may fall into?
I think mine the first one that comes to mind is make sure you do go through your stuff pretty thoroughly, especially if you've got siblings out of state or people that need to come into town and kind of go through it together, because there have been times, and yesterday was a good example, where we might find some papers or some paintings or pictures or something they never knew was there or had been in a file cabinet for so long. So just, if you can, do a good thorough comb through. Now, having said that, we always make a pile. I call it the family pile, but you make a corner of a room is everything that you have a question about, like a yearbook or a family portrait or a sorority picture or paintings from the children's art or a sweatshirt that says I love my grandkids or something that you think that they might have missed, or they, you know, if since we've dug it up they didn't realize they had it. And that has happened. I've seen it happen with Bibles. I ran into a situation where it was a whole box of old Bibles, and you could tell they hadn't been gone through in so long because it was under several boxes in the second garage, so it wasn't even in the main garage. So things like that, I think, as best as you can, go through the stuff and then just have an agreement with one of us to keep hold of anything we have a question about. And we keep lines of communication open. We end up becoming like buddies because we always ask, is this okay to sell, or did you mean to put this in here, or do you know where the other piece of this kitchen equipment is, or does this work, is this an electric dryer or whatever. So we are in constant contact with the people, so constant lines of communication being open is a good idea. And so there's a little pre-work in it, and some can do more than others simply because of location or family situations or what have you. But if you can go through and get all the stuff out that you want to save, that helps us too.
So, which one of y'all are part of the Oak Ridge estate, the Connors Drive? Either one of y'all?
Both of us.
Yeah.
You both were.
Yeah.
So if one of you would like to describe, maybe I'll kind of set the groundwork, and I want you to describe some of the events that took place. So we just finished an estate, a month or so ago in Oak Ridge, and it was a trust. A trust company was managing it in Nashville. The family lived out of state. They did have an opportunity to come in one time, very briefly, and that they identified some of the items they wanted to take, but they didn't have a chance to do what you just described. You know where I'm going with this? So they didn't have a chance to fully go through and just look at everything. So what they did was told the trust company, manage it please, thank you, and then it was time for us to get on stage at that point and go through and start the process that a lot of people who live close by gets a chance to go through grandma's drawers, right? Look at her jewelry. But in this case, that opportunity didn't exist, so they completely depended upon us.
Yeah.
So if you want to kind of talk about that estate, you can talk about the things that you found.
Okay.
And just kind of talk about how that one was different than maybe like this one, where obviously everybody already knew.
I think this one, the woman didn't have any children.
Yep.
She had nieces and nephews, and nobody lived in town. And but one of our other coworkers found money stashed in places. Audrey, was it in books?
Yeah, well, it was
Or in the refrigerator?
It was in the kitchen cabinets.
It's in the kitchen
under
cabinet,
the shelf paper.
underneath the shelf paper. And some people, I've had another family say, if you find any money, let us know, because their mother had become demented and started saving, putting money away in different places. So we found several $100s in that estate, and so we just called the trust company and tell them where we're going to put it and get it back to them. So that's what I'm saying. So some families aren't able to comb through all the things, and you just may never know what you find. And then on the flip side, funny stories is I think Audrey and I have the award for the grossest house we've ever had to do, and we call it the Rat House. And we were slogging through mice and rat scat day in and day out. But at the end, the brother was so thankful, and I think it had fallen to disrepair, and they didn't realize how bad it had gotten. So sometimes you do find, you need some. Even before COVID, we were using masks and gloves because of the situation that the house was in.
To the point he even brought you breakfast.
He brought me breakfast, yes.
All of his
He did.
breakfast.
He brought us breakfast. He was so appreciative. Yes.
And so here's a company policy that everyone here understands that if we find money, then the heirs or the trust company or whomever is alerted. Now, we're not going to call you if we find a quarter laid on the ground, but it certainly gets thrown into a pot, and it's part of your money that's not our money. It's the estate's money. And we do not take a commission on money that we find. I only say that because there are companies that charge a commission off of money that they find, which is, to me, is insane, right?
Yeah.
But that's their company policy, and that's how they do it. But we do not. I mean, in that particular case, it was well over $1,000 that we turned over, that I personally handed to the trust to manage it. So understanding that is, you need to know that when you're hiring a company, you need to know, what if Grandma had $10,000 that y'all find? What do you do with that money? Don't just expect that people are going to be like our company and just hand it over to you. So just make sure that, and I'm fully aware. Jewelry is a big one that we find. I think jewelry is worth spending a few minutes on.
Yes.
Before we go,
Oh, sorry.
We got a great comment here from Deanna Jones Rader. She says, "You all are awesome. I'll be calling you soon for that free assessment for my antique store inventory."
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And she bought yours.
She did. She did. Deanna's been a great buyer. Thank you so much, Deanna. We'll be happy to come over. I'll tell you what, before we talk about jewelry, let me talk real quick a little bit about a difference between a valuation versus an appraisal. Two completely different animals. A valuation is something you get from us for free. We do not charge for that. And we can certainly give estimates on particular pieces. Now, generally speaking, we can't walk into a house and say, oh, there's $10,000 worth of stuff here. Right? It's just too difficult. There's too many unknown variables. But we can give you ideas on certain pieces. And, oh yeah, by the way, we've got past auction results. Right? We're one of the only companies around that we proudly post what our sale prices were. Most do not. And I think maybe because I don't know why. Could be maybe because they're not proud of their prices, but we're very proud. And we want to be able to use that as a resource. So evaluation is simply that. It's just we're giving you on today what we believe the value of that item is based off historical sales results. Now, an appraisal is something completely different. It's going to come in a written form, and we do charge for that service. It's $150 an hour, and it generally requires a lot of research. And by the time that appraisal is done, I am prepared to defend it in court. That's why it's so important. Every appraisal that I've ever done, I write that appraisal as if I were in front of a jury and a judge, and have the ability to be able to defend that report. That's one of the biggest differences. We're going to give you, and there's multiple values that we can go with, but I just want everybody to kind of understand the difference between those two. So now, let's talk about jewelry. I feel like every estate has jewelry in it, right? Especially the ones that maybe someone's passed away, and mom, grandma, dad, grandpa, whomever had an estate. What's some of the things that, some tactics that maybe you could advise them on, or some of the things that y'all do?
I'm gonna let Audrey do that one because she's the jewelry girl.
Well, and what's so nice about JD's is there is a lot of support, people that are very familiar with jewelry and can help recognize valuable jewelry. And there's different types of valuable jewelry. There's jewelry that may be 14 karat gold, sterling silver, and then there's also vintage jewelry, even fashion jewelry, that because of its age may be very valuable. So just because it doesn't say 14 karat gold or sterling silver, that doesn't mean that it's not valuable. There are certain pieces that are not precious metal or stones, but can be very valuable based on its age. And right now, vintage, a lot of people collect vintage jewelry to make other pieces from. So even buttons, pins, things that you might not think are valuable can end up being very valuable. So there again, before you put all the vintage jewelry in a box for the grandkids, you might want to have us take a look through it.
And please, please, please don't throw away the old jewelry boxes.
Oh,
The
yes,
cardboard boxes,
yes.
the original ones that the jewelry was in. That's,
Like the Miller's boxes.
Yes.
And, yeah. Yeah.
It saddens me. It tears my heart apart
Yeah.
to see. We just took all the jewelry out and put it in the pile because we thought it was just fashion jewelry.
Right.
Well, in
right.
fact, you had a $100 vintage / potentially even antique necklace with the original box from New York, whatever, and now it's
exactly.
worth $20.
Yeah.
Not only just jewelry, but toys.
Oh, gosh. Yes.
Anything that you have the original box for,
Yes.
you want to save that because that
Yes.
can increase the value of that item.
Now, feel free to
tremendously.
throw away your coffee maker box, right?
Yes.
Right, or your toaster oven. That's
Yeah.
okay. Please, because right, we see that, don't we?
Oh,
right,
Yeah.
I just finished one, and I think they kept every
Every
printer box,
right.
every shredder box, every phone box. I mean,
Yes.
granted, we used them for packing, so that was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
But we just kept finding box after box, all in the attic. Threw them all downstairs.
And
Yeah.
that's another reason why it's good to have a team. And I hope Ann won't get mad at me, but she's the trasher and I'm the dumpster diver. So there's many times when, at the end of the day, I'll have to go peek in the dumpster to see if I threw something
Yes.
out.
Yes.
We've been known to go get it out and put it back together.
Yes.
So that's the good part about a team. But then when I get messy, she cleans up.
That's good
So
balance, though.
It is
it's
good
a-
balance.
It is.
Yeah,
It
we
is.
work really
A
well
great
together.
team.
Yeah.
So anyway.
We got any other questions on there?
No,
Well,
no further questions.
guys, I'm gonna put these ladies back to work.
Yes.
Sounds good.
I'm amazed, like no one showed up.
I know,
since we
this
did
is
It's
really
like it was
weird.
planned.
It's a really weird lull. I guess the 2 o'clockers haven't come yet.
No, probably not. Probably not. Well, thank you all so much for taking
Thanks, it was fun.
10 minutes out of your busy day.
All righty. Thank you.
Guys, we're not done. We're still hanging with Ryan and JD, and we're just kind of coming up with of things to talk about. I'm sure we'll get pulled away here in a few minutes because someone will show up inevitably. I'm gonna scoot closer, Ryan. Let's scoot closer. So hopefully everybody can hear. I'm assuming they can. One of the things that we're working on, that Ryan and I are working on, is it's a podcast / video cast called the Knoxville Business Show. It has nothing to do with JD's Realty and Auction. It is simply a business show. It's entrepreneurs helping entrepreneurs is what it comes down to. And this is an open invitation for any business owner that would like to come onto the show, talk about your business, talk about your service, talk about how people can utilize what services you're providing, what product you're selling. It is called the Knoxville Business Show, but frankly, it's open to any East Tennessee business. Right. We just called it Knoxville Business Show because, it's kind of a central location, so to speak. Right now, we are going to be using software called Lightstream, right? Lightstream.
Yeah.
And Lightstream is a service that we're going to be able to do essentially a live webinar where we can have you don't have to come down to our office, down to our studio, but we'll do essentially like a Zoom meeting call, but it's not on Zoom, it's on Lightstream. And we're looking for business owners now who would like to participate. So if you would like to participate, just simply shoot us a message on here, and we will be happy to have someone reach out to you and coordinate that. Ryan, he's essentially going to be the one coordinating it, and we're looking to fill our calendar up through June right now. So for May and June, the next 8 weeks, getting that locked in. So be watching for that. So that should be pretty exciting. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel now. Now we've got a lot of content, a lot of information that we've been publishing on YouTube. That's simply youtube.com, and then just go search for JD's Realty and Auction, and you can click on the subscribe button on there. Of course, we're on Instagram as well. We post photos. What we're going to start doing, Ryan, tell them about JD's top 5. What we're going to do.
Yeah, so what we're going to do starting here soon with coin auctions, we are going to have the man himself, Jason Deal, go with a top 5 coin auction there, and basically if there's 500 lots in this auction, he's going to choose 5 that he thinks are worth talking about. And so we're going to start that upcoming here pretty soon. That way he can give you some feedback, some background on those different lots. Certainly with his knowledge, he can shed a little light on something and kind of tell us what's hot in the market right now and kind of get his perspective on stuff. So we're going to start that here coming up real soon, and so be looking for that. And if you've ever thought about getting into coin collecting, now is probably a good time to start kicking that off. And so he's just going to give you a little bit of information, pick 5 pieces out of that particular auction, and just kind of give you just kind of some ins and outs and kind of highlight a few different items. So I think that's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm really excited about it. I think what we'll start incorporating as well, we'll talk with Audrey and Ann. Of course, they've already went back to work. Let's see, Kim was tuned in there a second ago. Hey, Kim. And what I think we'll start incorporating is, the JD's top 5 of the estates potentially. And they may not be the most valuable pieces in there,
Right.
but it could be just kind of the most interesting pieces. For example, there is a piece in the Weber estate that's going to be my number 1 piece. It is a antique knife sharpener. Dude,
Cool.
This thing is amazing. It's about this big around. If y'all can see that, I don't know. About this big around. It's wooden and it has iron legs that it's sitting on, and it's got this big crank. Okay,
Wow.
and you stick your knife down in there and crank it, and it's got these like bristles and brushes and things like that, and you just crank it and it sharpens your knife. Dude, it's from like Civil War, man. Like this thing is
That's
like
a cool
Civil
piece.
War era, and it's
a cool
in
piece.
phenomenal condition. I've only ever seen one before, and I saw that online. Just looking it up, etc. But I've never actually had a chance to touch one, and it works.
And
Like,
you said that's part of the Webers.
yeah, it's part of the Ron Weber estate, which is in Clinton. If Will or someone's watching, somebody can post a link to that auction. I think it's the 19th, if I'm not mistaken, April 19th, maybe next weekend. Man, there's some cool stuff in that. Shoot, there's even one of those curved TVs in there.
Oh, yeah.
You've seen those before.
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
haven't been able to afford to buy one, but
Maybe now.
that's
Maybe now you can.
maybe, yeah. I mean, maybe, I don't know. Gosh, there's some cool stuff. There's a really nice bed it's a king size bed, walnut, spindle back. This thing is amazing. You guys got to see it. It's in the lot 400 range, I think. When you get some of the bedroom furniture, you'll see it. But this thing is absolutely amazing. One of the nicest beds that I've ever seen, ever. So looking forward to that. What we'll try to do is we'll try to attach a video to the lot as well to kind of give you an up close and personal. If you've ever seen us selling a lawnmower or a vehicle or something to that effect, then you see we'll attach a video to that particular lot so you can see it running and cutting grass, etc. So we'll try to do those on the top 5, maybe where I'm holding it, talking about it. I think that'll be kind of a neat little perspective. And I'll tell you what we may do at some point, we'll figure out how this goes, is we'll do like fan voted top 5 or something.
Yeah.
And let you guys vote on what would be your top 1 or 2 or 3 items, and then feature those in the auction so other people can come in and see. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, you're not going to have to look hard to find some content from JD's Realty and Auction.
Yeah.
And that's what we like. So we want to connect with you guys and get feedback, and just we want to be visible. So
Yeah. I mean, this is like real world stuff. There's like I'm done like asking you to go to JD's auctions and buy this stuff.
Right.
Like I want now it to turn into like educational and telling stories about these items. And of course, if we can ever get any of the clients on to talk about maybe mom bought this when she was in Italy or dad brought this back from the war.
the story,
Dude,
the story.
That's it. When I buy things, I'm like, yeah, that's cool, but Let me tell you the story behind this. Like, I got a pie safe. I'll tell you my story with my pie safe. I got a pie safe in my house that has only ever been moved 5 times in its life. It's from Virginia. And this pie safe is absolutely fantastic. I paid a whole lot of money for it, but it's just, I mean, it is ultimate, one of my dream pieces of having, you know, an antique pie safe from the state of Virginia, close to where I'm from, and I'll cherish this thing forever.
Right.
I mean, like, Jed will have to either burn it, give it away. It's Jed, like, it's his, right?
Right. It's in the family.
You're going to have to figure it out, man.
Yeah.
It's an heirloom.
Yeah.
But just a cool story behind it, too. I'll tell you one day. So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of what we're up to. If you're wondering kind of how we're handling this whole coronavirus pandemic, luckily, Governor Lee put that order out today, that email out today that, you know, that the operations that we're doing are essential. And we kind of figured it out before he put the order out to make sure. I know we've had people come in and come out. I don't know if y'all were on here early, but kind of figured out if there's only one family at a time that's out of their vehicle. And, you know, generally speaking, we're doing curbside, man. You know?
Yeah, they pull up and we load them up and they're pretty much hitting the road. So we kind of keep people in and out, keep moving them in and out. So
Yeah.
and people love that. I mean, they're just they're loving the convenience of it. So
You know, I wish we could figure out some sort of like how to sustain this, but it's just tough.
it is.
You know, it's tough. We got 5 people working pickup
Yeah, it
today.
takes more personnel to run this operation.
Yeah. Of course, for the last hour, we haven't done anything. Oh, and here we go. All right, so we got a customer just showed up. Ryan, you're up, buddy.
You got it.
Let me go ahead and I just want to kind of show you guys how this works. So here we go. This client, completely unscripted, just pulled up while we've been sitting here talking. Ryan's going to go over there. They're probably going to roll their window down, and he's going to ask what their name is. Okay, so what Ryan's actually doing is he just got their last name, and now he's getting them in position in case someone else shows up. Now, Audrey has already laid people's items out here on the table. It could potentially be here. Oh, man.
Awesome.
Oh, dude.
Steel.
That's right. 1960s, baby.
How about that?
So you can see Audrey's already got their order ready. So Ryan's going to get it, and he's going to take it over there to them. Notice that the only person they're being exposed to is Ryan. So Audrey, she kind of hangs over away. Have they paid? Yep. So Audrey's going to take the invoice inside. He's going to get a total for Ryan. She will come back out and tell Ryan what the total is. Ryan will collect the money. This is how it's working, guys. This is so simple. So really and truly, if someone else shows up, we'll put them in a holding pattern, and we'll just wait. I kind of hope somebody else shows up so you can kind of see how that's going to go. He's excited about his Tonka truck. Ryan's talking to him about it. He's just telling him how hard it is to find him in that good of shape.
Is that what you want us to do? Put the card on file? Sure. Okay.
So they're talking about money. So Ryan's going to go in now. He's going to finish loading up here. He wants to put it on his card.
Yeah, what's the total? $67.85. Yes, sir. And we'll just put it on that card. All right. Hey, y'all have a good day. Thank you.
And that is, quite frankly, how simple it was. Now we could have certainly they could have paid cash if they'd wanted to, and then Ryan would have taken their money and taken it back in, got them changed if they needed it. But literally, the only person that came even close to being in contact with them was Ryan. Ryan's got his gloves on. He's doing his best. I don't even think he got within 8 feet of them. You know.
Social distancing.
I mean, that's what it's about. It's kind of weird, you know, because, you know, Ryan is kind of like I am. He's kind of a people person too. And it's just kind of weird standing. You know, I've always hated people getting in my personal space, which that's
But then this, you know, if you're way back here, that's kind of awkward too.
yeah, it's like awkward. It's like, dude, you know, I don't stink, do I? Why y'all live there? You know, so that's it. That's how pickup is going. That was a great example. You see how that worked out, and we're going to keep doing it that way until probably at least these next 5 estates. Yeah. We'll see how the Weber estate does, you know, see kind of where we're at in the world with that. So, guys, I'm here. You got any other questions for me? I don't know how long we've been on for. Let's see. I don't know, and I don't know why I can't see questions. Like people are popping. I can't see those on my screen. It's really weird, really crazy. I used to could see them all the time.
We'll work on that.
Yeah. Ryan's going to check real quick, see if there's any other questions.
Let's see. We got a comment here that says Lindsay needs to be on the podcast for reconstructing an auction piece into a beautiful piece of art.
Okay. Is that
That's from JD's. So
okay.
Is that?
So that might have been Kim or Natalie one. So yeah, that'd be awesome. Well, let's do that. Let's figure out who Lindsay is, and let's get her sometime in May, and we can do a before after type thing.
Yep.
So we have quite a few buyers, certainly, and some of you probably who buys pieces, rejuvenates their life, and gives them a new life. That's cool, man.
Sheila Kettinger says top 5 sounds great.
She's excited about that.
Excited about the top 5.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks, Sheila. We're going to give it a shot. I've just got to figure out how to manage, you know, coming out to the estates and getting all that done, because obviously when we get back to normal, we normally have about 10 estates going on at any given time, but we'll make it happen. We will figure it out. Well, I don't know. I've enjoyed this time.
This has been awesome. Any more questions or comments?
We got 12 people still kind of tuning in here. Guys, if you're just now tuning in, it's just been, I don't know, we've just been hanging out really, I guess. Question and answer and talking about, we're going to certainly save this and post this. I think when Ann and Audrey were over here, that is some of the most valuable information that you're going to get. And we talked about pitfalls of getting ready to sell your items, things to do prior to, things to do during, the relationship building as we're selling the estate and how that works. Please make sure you share this video. We love you. We thank you for being so kind to us, and reach out to us if you have any questions. We'll be happy to help you. We can still do a lot of virtual stuff. We've got FaceTime where we don't even have to come out to your house right now. You know, we can do a FaceTime call.
Yep.
We can walk around the house and we can check that out, and we'll maintain our 100-mile social distancing if we need to, right? So, awesome. But guys, I guess Ryan and I should probably get back to work and take it from there.
Yes.
Have
Thanks
a
for
great
watching,
day.
everybody. Have a good day.
Thank y'all.